Okay, what we're looking at here is the compound interest formula. And first, it's important that you know and understand what is compound interest. Compound interest is the interest you earn on interest. So for example, if you were to put $100 into a bank account, over the first year, it increases its interest of 5%. That means you're gonna gain $5 in the first year. So now you have $105 in your account. Well, it's a snowball effect. The second year, they're not taking interest on the $100, they're taking interest on the $105 that you have. So over time, it's gonna start to snowball and increase in value. So it's a long-term game. Okay, what we have is our formula right here. A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the power of NT. A lot of stuff going on there. Let's take a peek and break it all down. All right, so first off, A, that's gonna be your balance at the end. We're gonna figure out what is our total amount after so many years of letting it compound. Principal, P, that's your initial amount that you're gonna plug into the account. So let's say you put $5,000 into an account, that right there is your principal amount. Rate, that's gonna be given as a percentage, you're gonna need to convert that into a decimal. And so that'll be your interest rate. N is the number of times interest is compounded per year. So is it annually, once a year? Is it semi-annually? That would be twice a year. Is it quarterly? Okay, that would be 4 times a year. Quarterly, 4 times a year. And last but not least, how many years are you gonna leave the money in the account building the interest? So let's look at a scenario here, a very specific individual. Let's say they put $28,600 into account that gains 7.9% interest, okay? And it's gonna be compounded. Let's make sure that's all on the screen. Compounded semi-annually, okay? All right, so semi-annually. They're gonna leave it in there for, let's say, 2 years. All right, so first thing you're gonna wanna grab, a calculator because calculating percentages to a power, just type it into a calculator, let the calculator do the tough work. We just need to know what do we plug into our formula here. So we're gonna say A equals our principal amount. The principal amount is what we plugged in, 28,600. 28,600. That is replacing the P. We're gonna multiply that by 1 plus our rate. Our rate here is 7.9%. We need to know to convert 7.9% into a decimal, you just move that decimal place 2 spots back. So we're gonna go 1, 2 spots back, the decimal's now here. So we're dealing with 0.079. 0.079 or 79 thousandths over N. Remember that N is representing the number of times interest is compounded annually. Well, that all comes from this word right here. It's compounded semi-annually, meaning we're going to recompound the interest twice a year. So we're gonna say 2 times a year, and we're going to put that to the power of N, the number of times it compounds per year, times how many years we're gonna leave it in the bank. Okay, we're gonna leave it in for 2 years and it's going to compound twice a year. So 2 times 2, and I tell my students just mentally calculate this part out and put the new value in right away. 2 times 2 is 4, so we're gonna just change that right now to a power of 4. This is where your calculator is gonna come in handy. Start inside the parentheses, 0.079 divided by 2. Type it in, get your value, and then add 1 to it. So 0.079 divided by 2 equals 0.0395. So we're going to add 1 to 0.0395. That would make 1.0395. We're going to put that to the power of 4. And then at the end, we're going to multiply it by $28,600. And that's gonna be our compounded interest. We'll get our grand total after 2 years, how much is gonna be in our account. So let's do that. We're just gonna take 1.0395 to the power of 4. It's gonna give me a crazy long decimal. Do not worry about writing out that decimal. It's just this really long number, 1.1676, da 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 da. Just keep it in your calculator, okay? and now you're just gonna say times, because your calculator has a memory, it's holding that value right now, that extended decimal, it's holding it in the calculator's brain, and we're gonna say times 28,600, times 28,600, and what I'm left with is 33,393.66. Okay, so after all is said and done, 2 years goes by, you have not touched this money at all. You've just let the compound interest accumulate and build up. Okay, 2 years later, your $28,600 has now turned into $33,393.66. Okay, and then the next year, it's only going to go up from there. And the next year, it's only going to go up from there. It's a snowball effect. Compound interest. Over time, it's going to start to build more and more and more and more. Okay, compound interest formula. Plug your values in. Principal, rate, number of times it compounds per year. Let's say you were told that it's going to compound quarterly. Change that value to a 4. Let's say it's going to compound annually, once a year. Then you'd put a 1 here and a 1 there. Okay, but because it was semi-annually, we're putting 2s right there. Remember to always convert your decimal or your percentage into a decimal, and you should be fine. Okay, study hard and good luck on your upcoming test.